here, Iowa Public Radio, Studio 1, with Blondshell. Blondshell, you just had an awesome set at Hinterland. How did you feel it went?
It was so much fun. We've actually never played here before, so it was really fun.
First time in Iowa?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a scorcher.
It was I think that's the single hottest show that we've ever played. It was insanely hot. And I'm hoping I got tan during that show.
Oh, well, so I kind of wanted to start it out. I wanted to ask you, where did Blondshell, the name, originate from? Is it like a play on Bombshell? Is that kind of where it came from?
Yeah, a little bit. But I just it wasn't that thought out. I was having dinner with my sister, and it was really just like throwing things out there that we thought sounded right. And that felt really right for me and the music.
Okay. And then you not too long ago, released a cover of the Talking Heads, Thank You for Sending Me an Angel.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Is that one of your favorite Talking Heads songs? Are you a big fan? Do you have a favorite album?
Well, I love Stop Making Sense, and so I got to be part of the soundtrack, or it wasn't a soundtrack, it was basically a tribute album to Stop Making Sense. And so I sort of got assigned that song, and I love that song, but it wasn't I chose it, but I really love that song. And I sort of fell in love with it in a way that I hadn't been before, because I just had to really learn it and think about what it meant to me so that I could sing it in a meaningful way.
That's awesome. So you are headed to Europe pretty soon.
Yeah, a couple days.
Do you have any funny anecdotes that you could share from life on the road in Europe? I used to travel with a band for a while, and whenever we were overseas or in a different country, there was always some funny things that would happen that normally wouldn't happen in the States. And it's always kind of fun to hear that from other bands.
There was one thing. Okay, I played Glastonbury this June. So, I don't know, it was maybe 5 weeks ago or something, the end of June. And I got there and I really had to pee. And there were some porta potties and a production office. And so I got out, I went into the porta potties. Neither of them had toilet paper. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to the production office and ask them for some toilet paper. So I went and I asked them, and the lady just started cracking up and then called a bunch of the other people over to be ask again. And I was like, I'm wondering if you guys have toilet paper. And she was like, wow, they must really spoil you at festivals in the States. You must be playing some posh festivals to think that we would have toilet paper. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But then she gave me some napkins. So it's okay.
That's hilarious.
I know.
Yeah, European festivals are a whole different thing, I feel like.
Yeah, but that was the biggest difference. I'm not going to go back without toilet paper.
Okay, yes, actually that's a great idea.
And that's for the next guy too.
Yeah, I've worked with a lot of people that would always travel in their bunk. They'd make sure they'd have separate toilet paper and their own pillow.
Pillow I would think of. Pillow, I would bring my own pillow, but I wouldn't think to bring toilet paper.
So the album came out a little over a year ago, right? A year and a half?
Yeah.
And one thing about it, when I listen to it, I've listened to it a few times now, I really like it, and I actually think every song is awesome. And what I like about it the most is the flow. Did you put a lot of thought into the album order? Because it seems for me, that's something I pay attention to when I'm listening to an album, and I feel the flow is perfect.
Thanks. I put a lot of thought into it because I really care about album sequencing and listening to an album sort of start to end instead of just picking out songs. So I wanted it to just, I don't know, part of it is that I wanted it to sound like it might sound at a show. So we always start, during this set that we just played, we always start with Veronica Mars, which is what the album starts with. And yeah, I thought about it a lot just because I still really believe in the album as a concept.
It definitely shows too. It comes off kind of like a classic record.
Thanks, that means a lot.
Well, in that vein, if you can talk about it at all, what's the future hold? Are you working on new music?
Yes, I have been writing since maybe right after the album came out. And so I've been in the process of making this album for the last couple months, and I'm really excited about it.
Awesome. That's exciting. So my last question is, you've only been in Iowa for a little bit, but is there anything that kind of stuck out besides the heat, of course, like that, first impressions?
Well, it's really beautiful. I mean, where we played, it was sort of like someone just said, it was like a natural amphitheater. So it was just sort of the hills, like it went up like that. And it was just a really scenic place to play. But honestly, I just was in the hotel yesterday and I'm hoping to go out tonight and look around.
Is it like in Des Moines area?
Yeah, probably in Des Moines, yeah.